Okay, so today we're going to talk about expressions, writing expressions and evaluating expressions. We're going to start with writing. So write that down. Remember, you can pause anytime that you need to catch up with something, okay? So what is an expression? So maybe just put expression question mark. So an expression is a math sentence without an equal sign. Okay, and we'll do some examples here in a minute. Okay, so there's different types of of expressions. There's algebraic expressions, which is just numbers. And operations. If you're not sure what operations are add, subtract, multiply, divide. Those are what operations are. So 5 plus 3 is an operation. Now, if you put 5 plus 3 equals 8, that becomes an equation because there's an equal sign. Okay? 24 minus 3, that's an expression. 5 times 2, 4 divided by 1. Those are all expressions. Those are all algebraic expressions. Okay? A variable expression is the same, but it has a variable. Remember, variables are letters or symbols that represent a number. The most common ones, so when you were in elementary, they may have used a question mark or a smiley face or just a dash. Okay, now we're going to use like X, Y, Z. You can use any letter you want, okay? So a variable expression has a variable and a number. Sometimes that number is understood. And operations, an operation. That's just an and symbol. Okay, so it may be 5 plus X or 4Y. Remember, this is multiplication when it's right next to each other. Just because there's not a multiplication sign there doesn't mean there's not an operation there. Another thing may be just Z. Okay, so Z. Okay, sorry, I had to pause because somebody came in our door. So, all of these would be types of variable expressions. It has a variable, it has an operation, it has a number. The only time it may not look like it has a number if it was just the letter Y, because there's really a 1 in front of that. Okay, so that one may be a little tricky. So I think, is that all from that page? Yes, okay. So that is what an expression is, okay? So now we're going to talk a little bit about writing an expression. So write an expression. So I want you to put number 1, V plus 4. What that means is it's just V plus 4. You're writing the expression out, okay? We'll just do a few of these examples. The product of 8 and Q. So some of our vocab we may have to review. Remember, pause it if I go too fast. So product, if you don't remember, product is multiplication. So you can put 8 times Q. We want to get away from the X for multiplication. You can just put 8Q, which is what it'll end up being. You can put A and then like the asterisk Q. You can put A parentheses Q. Multiplication has a lot of different ways to do it. This is what you'll end up doing the most as you get older, but we want to get away from the X because then the X looks like a variable. If you don't remember, quotient is division. So X divided by 5 is acceptable. You want to get to where you put it as like a fraction. X divided by 5. Don't do the little house anymore like you would. You want to get to where you're doing it there, okay? Twice as many inches. So twice means 2 times. So 2 times, and you notice how it doesn't give us a variable, so you can use whatever you want. I'm going to use I for inches. So 2 times I. So if it was 5 inches, 2 times 5 would be 10 inches. 5 less than R. Now this one is tricky. Whenever you see less than, you have to switch them. So 5 less than R, that means we have R, and then we're going to take 5 away from it. So this one, you actually switch the order when it says less than. 20 more than T. That's another one where you switch. So more than and less than, you do T plus 20. T plus 20. John's age divided by 23. So John's age, we don't have a variable for that, so we can just put J. You don't have to put J. J divided by 23. You could put X if you wanted. I just picked J for John. Okay. 45 minus Y. So remember, you guys pause them because I'm trying to get it done, but you can pause. 45 minus Y. Or the less than, remember we have to do the opposite, y minus 45. Remember, there's a difference there. In subtraction, it matters the order. Okay, last thing, evaluate expressions. So evaluating, don't worry about math expressions because we've already talked about that. Okay, evaluating expressions. If you have 16 plus B, it's asking what does that equal if B is 25. So you would do 16 and you plug in, I call it plug and chug. You put a 25 in for B. So then you do 16 plus 25, which is 41. Okay, so you're actually evaluating. Solving would be if there were equations, but we say evaluating. X minus Y, if X is 64, so this is really 64 minus 27. 64 minus 27. So see if you can do that. 64 minus 27 is going to give us 37. Okay. Now what about 6x if x equals 1/3? So that's really 6 times x, which is 1/3. Remember, when we do fractions, we multiply straight across. So this is a good review. 6 over 3. Well, what's 6 divided by 3? It's 2. Or maybe you just know that 1/3 of 6 is 2. That's fine as well. But we are just plugging in for, so this says 5 times t. Remember, that's times. So it's really 5 times 3. Now, when you do it, you need to put parentheses. Do not do it like this. That makes it look like it's 53 plus 4. That's a no-no. You have to put it in parentheses, or you can say 5 times 3 plus 4. In our order of operations, we do 5 times 3 first. So 15 plus 4, which is 19. All right, 4x squared. Don't freak out because there's that squared there. This just means 4 times x, which x is 3, 3 squared. Now you need to remember your order of operations. So remember, we're going to do our exponent first. So 4 times, remember this is 3 times 3. All right, but we need to do this first because it was in the exponent. So 4 times 9, which is 36, which it really wouldn't matter. 4 times 3 times 3 is also 36. This is not one we're going to do. Sorry about that. I forgot that one was on there. And is that it? That may be it. So you guys, I call this plug and chug. You plug a number in, you chug a number out.